performance cars that could compete on the street and on the track. The Shelby GT500 was more than just a car. It was a mystique that had drivers and enthusiasts alike talking. Shelby's involvement meant that the car had the signature racing pedigree that made it not just a muscle car, but a racer's dream. Engineered for performance with a 4-speed manual transmission and upgraded suspension, the GT500 was built for speed and handling, setting a new standard for the muscle car market. The styling was equally aggressive, with its dual-scooped hood, sporty stripes, and distinctive GT500 badging. The Shelby was impossible to ignore. But beyond the performance and styling was the rarity. Only 1,000 units were produced in 1968, making it not just a fast car, but a coveted collector's item. Shelby wasn't just about horsepower. He was about creating a legacy. The GT500 was designed to not only challenge the best of the best, but to push the boundaries of what a muscle car could be. From its inception, the GT500 became a symbol of American performance, marking the start of a new era in the muscle car world. While Ford was focusing on power, Pontiac was setting its sights on making a bold statement in the muscle car market. Enter the 1969 GTO Judge, a car that would forever change the definition of American muscle. The Judge wasn't just another trim package on the GTO. It was Pontiac's challenge to Ford's dominance in the muscle car world. Named after the popular "I Want the Judge" comedy routine from The Ed Sullivan Show, the GTO Judge was designed to stand out in both performance and styling. Under the hood, the 455 V8 engine came with an option to deliver up to 370 horsepower. This engine was built for high performance, with a carburetor and dual exhaust, allowing the Judge to challenge any competitor on the road. It wasn't just about speed. The GTO Judge was a car that demanded attention. What made the GTO Judge truly special, however, was its aggressive design and bold personality. From its bright colors to the iconic rear spoiler, the Judge wasn't afraid to scream performance. Pontiac's vision for the Judge was clear. It wasn't just a muscle car. It was a statement of rebellion against the traditional norms of what a muscle car should be. It had a distinctive look, with its ram air hood, graphics, and bold "The Judge" decals. Pontiac knew that in order to compete with the likes of the Shelby GT500, they would need to bring something that was both innovative and distinctive. The Judge became the embodiment of American power and aggression, marking a shift in muscle car culture. This car wasn't just designed for the streets. It was designed to prove Pontiac's dominance in a market that was already overflowing with raw performance. As the 1968 Shelby GT500 roared into the market, Pontiac wasn't going to let Ford's dominance go unchallenged. The battle between these two automotive giants was more than just a contest of horsepower. It was a full-fledged rivalry that defined the muscle car era. For Ford, the GT500 was designed to be the ultimate performance machine, with Carroll Shelby's signature engineering and a focus on creating a car that could dominate on both the streets and the racetrack. Meanwhile, Pontiac wasn't just building a muscle car. They were crafting an attitude with the GTO Judge. Pontiac took aim at Ford's high-performance cars, knowing that the GTO was already a staple in the muscle car world. But the Judge? It was a direct challenge to the GT500, designed to hit harder, faster, and with more boldness than ever before. The rivalry went beyond just the cars themselves. It was about what they represented. Shelby's GT500 was a statement of American engineering precision, honed by years of racing experience and meticulous design. The Judge, on the other hand, was untamed, a direct reflection of Pontiac's desire to show that they weren't just another brand. They were here to dominate with power and audacity. In the world of muscle cars, performance wasn't the only factor, it was the attitude of the car. And this rivalry wasn't just about the cars on the street, it extended to the advertisements, the publicity stunts, and the racing circuits where both cars were being tested in the most grueling conditions. Ford had Shelby's expertise and technical superiority, but Pontiac had the raw power and defiance of the GTO Judge. The contest was set. Shelby and Pontiac, two different philosophies, one goal: to claim the title of the ultimate muscle car. When it came to engineering, the 1968 Shelby GT500 and the 1969 GTO Judge were two different beasts. Ford, under the guidance of Carroll Shelby, focused on precision engineering, with the GT500 boasting a meticulously crafted engine and advanced features that pushed the boundaries of American muscle. Meanwhile, Pontiac took a bold approach, prioritizing raw power and design innovation that made the Judge stand out on the streets. The Shelby GT500 featured the 428 Cobra Jet V8, a refined powerhouse that delivered 355 horsepower and 450 pound-feet of torque. But its true strength lay in its engineering details. The 4-speed manual transmission and upgraded suspension were designed not just for speed, but for control, ensuring that the car could handle the power Shelby had unleashed. Additionally, Shelby's unique touches, like the fiberglass hood and specially tuned suspension, gave the GT500 an edge in both performance and handling. Shelby's commitment to quality and aerodynamics made the GT500 not just a muscle car, but an engineering marvel. The Shelby GT500 was the embodiment of performance and style. It was one of the first cars to prove that American engineering could compete with the best in the world. Carroll Shelby, having already established a legacy in racing, poured his knowledge into making the GT500 not just fast, but a car that could handle the demands of both the streets and the track. It became a statement piece for anyone who understood what true power looked like, making it an instant classic. Despite its limited production, only 1,000 units, the GT500 became a highly sought-after collector's item. Its sleek design, aggressive stance, and muscular engine were enough to make it a star on the roads. The dual-scooped hood and bold stripes gave the car a distinctive look that set it apart from any other Ford vehicle. But beyond the exterior, it was the engineering and innovation that ensured the GT500 would remain a legend. Even today, the Shelby GT500 is considered one of the most iconic American muscle cars ever produced. Its legacy lives on in modern Shelby models, but the original 1968 version still holds a special place in the hearts of car lovers around the world. For anyone who owned one or had the chance to drive one, the GT500 remains the pinnacle of American muscle. The 1969 GTO Judge wasn't just another high-performance muscle car. It was a bold declaration from Pontiac, signaling that they were not content with simply following the trends of the time. The GTO Judge was a rebellious response to the domination of Ford and Shelby in the muscle car market, and it instantly made Pontiac stand out as a performance leader. The Judge wasn't just about power. It was a statement of style, attitude, and raw American muscle. From its bright colors to the bold "The Judge" decals plastered across its body, the GTO Judge was designed to capture attention in the most aggressive way possible. It wasn't a car for the faint of heart. It was loud, brash, and unapologetic, much like the drivers it was built for. But behind the bold design and aggressive styling lay a true performance engine. The 455 V8 engine that powered the Judge delivered 370 horsepower and could push the car to speeds that rivaled the most powerful competitors of the time. The GTO Judge wasn't just about straight-line speed, it was also about dominating on the track. Pontiac engineered the Judge to compete fiercely against the Ford Mustang and Shelby GT500, and it held its own, with exceptional handling and a stiffened suspension that made it a powerhouse both on the street and at the races. The Judge's arrival changed the muscle car landscape. It proved that Pontiac could play in the same league as Ford and Shelby, and in many ways it became a symbol of the muscle car era's golden age. Beyond its sheer performance, the GTO Judge was about the attitude, the embodiment of rebellion, power, and American pride. Pontiac's GTO Judge remains one of the most iconic muscle cars ever made, leaving a lasting impact on the automotive world and forever shaping Pontiac's legacy in the muscle car race. The 1968 Shelby GT500 didn't just become a muscle car, it became the ultimate symbol of American performance and engineering. With its iconic design and raw power, the GT500 quickly became the benchmark for what muscle cars should aspire to be. It wasn't just the performance specs that made it legendary, it was the way the car captured the essence of American power and turned it into something timeless. At its core, the GT500 was driven by the 428 Cobra Jet engine, a powerhouse that churned out an impressive 355 horsepower and 450 pound-feet of torque. It was engineered not just to go fast, but to dominate on the streets, on the track, and in the hearts of car enthusiasts. The 4-speed manual transmission, coupled with the dual-scooped hood and race-inspired suspension, gave it both the muscular presence and performance that could outclass most other vehicles of its time. But what truly set the Shelby GT500 apart was its balance of power and precision. While other muscle cars focused on raw horsepower, the Shelby GT500 balanced aggression with engineering sophistication. The stiffened suspension, enhanced braking system, and improved handling made it more than just a drag racer. It was a well-rounded, high-performance car that could handle the demands of both street driving and racing conditions.
The Judge's appearance matched its performance, a combination of muscular styling and bold graphics that announced its arrival long before it hit full throttle. The Ram Air hood, wide tires, and signature The Judge decals made it a car that couldn't be ignored. It wasn't just about aerodynamics or handling. The Judge's design was a bold proclamation of power and rebellion. It was a car for those who didn't just want to drive, they wanted to make a statement. What truly set the GTO Judge apart from other muscle cars was its personality. The Judge wasn't trying to compete for refinement or class. It was about power, attitude, and uncompromising performance. It became a cultural icon, symbolizing the essence of raw American muscle, a perfect reflection of the era in which it was born. The GTO Judge didn't just change the way people looked at muscle cars, it changed the way we looked at American automotive design. Its impact went far beyond the performance metrics. It represented a shift in car culture, one that demanded both power and presence. The rivalry between the 1968 Shelby GT500 and the 1969 GTO Judge wasn't just about performance, it was about identity. These two cars represented the essence of American muscle at a time when automotive culture was defining itself. The GT500 and the Judge weren't merely competitors, they were symbols of two different philosophies in muscle car engineering. One rooted in precision and refinement, the other in brash power and boldness. Both cars changed the game in their own way. The Shelby GT500, with its smooth engineering and refined performance, set the standard for performance muscle cars. It became a timeless classic, representing Ford's legacy in the muscle car world. On the other hand, the GTO Judge became a symbol of rebellion, a car designed not only to perform, but to stand out and challenge the status quo. It was an embodiment of American pride, performance, and the spirit of defiance.
While Ford's Shelby GT500 paved the way for future generations of muscle car enthusiasts, Pontiac's GTO Judge solidified its place in history as a cultural icon. Together, they defined the golden age of muscle cars, creating a rivalry that would inspire generations of car lovers. Today, the legacy of the Shelby GT500 and GTO Judge lives on in the modern muscle cars that continue to honor the same spirit of performance and power. But the real magic of these two cars isn't just in their raw horsepower or exclusivity, it's in the story they tell. A story of competition, innovation, and a time when American muscle ruled the roads. As we look back at these legends, we can only wonder what would have happened if this rivalry had played out differently. What if Pontiac had continued to challenge Ford's dominance? The question remains. One thing's for sure. The Shelby GT500 and GTO Judge will always be remembered as the two cars that changed the game forever.